Okay po, pag-usapan na natin ngayon yung kay Congressman Kiko Barzaga, yung suspension po niya for 60 days. So this was decided upon by the plenary of the House yesterday po, December 1, 2025. And yung total po na bumoto in favor of this was 249 House members vote to suspend Barzaga for 60 days. Okay, so i-discuss ko na lang po sa inyo yung mga legal na bagay-bagay, yung mga ideas ko po kung paano to pwede questionin ni Congressman Barzaga if he chooses to do so sa Supreme Court. Kasi we have to remember po, meron namang absolute power of judicial review ang Supreme Court as per Section 1, Article 8 of the 1987 Constitution, provided may mapakita lang po si Congressman Barzaga na grave abuse of discretion para manalo siya dun sa Supreme Court. So yan lang po, i-discuss ko lang po sa inyo kung ano yung mga pwedeng arguments dito para lang po makita nyo paano mag-isip ang isang abogado in relation to this issue. Okay, and isa pa po, i-clarify ko lang din sa inyong lahat, wala pa rin po tayong copy ng actual decision, unfortunately, because I visited the website po of Congress, congress.gov.ph, and then ito po, makikita nyo naman dito yung mga press releases nila, yung pinaka-latest na news. So pumunta lang po kayo sa House Committees and then sa Ethics and Privileges. So this one po, dito sa part na to, this appears as the decision, yung pag kay Congressman Kiko Barzaga. Kaso yung problem, pag kiniklik ko to siya, walang nangyayari. And then if I click this, text as filed, wala rin pong nangyayari. And then pag i-click ko yung committee report, wala rin pong nangyayari. So in summary, ang pinaka-point ko talaga dito is that hindi tayo makakuha ng copy ng actual decision from the House of Representatives website. Unfortunately, that is my main point. So what I will be doing na lang po, I will be showing you mga news articles kung saan in-interview to si Congressman Abalos. So na-explain naman niya, napadaan niya ng konti yung reasoning behind the decision suspending Congressman Kiko Barzaga. So good day po my fellow taong bayan, and to start things off po, ipakita ko muna yung Constitution natin. The Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. So this is the 1987 Constitution, and then Article 8 po, Judicial Department. So ang important po i-take note talaga natin dito is Section 1 and then the second paragraph, itong second part, to determine whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government. Okay, yan lang po ang gusto ko i-point out kasi baka isip ninyo hindi na pwede questionin yun kasi napagbotohan na ng House, di ba? But we have to remember the power of judicial review po ng Supreme Court is absolute provided na may mapakitang grave abuse of discretion. Okay? And the reason kaya to siya absolute kasi ang nakalagay po on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government basta may grave abuse of discretion. Okay? So when you say grave abuse of discretion nga po, this is the grabing pang-aabuso ng kapangyarihan po ng isang branch or part ng any government. Okay? So yan po ang magiging karapatan ni Congressman Barzaga kung gusto niya questionin yung actions ng House of Representatives. Okay? And then ngayon po, ipakita ko muna sa inyo yung interview ni Ms. Karen Davila kay Congressman Abalos kung saan in-explain po ni Congressman Abalos yung basis ng decision nila.
This morning, the chairperson of the House Ethics Committee for Peace Party List Representative J.C. Abalos. Representative Abalos, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Good morning, Karen. Thank you so much for having me on your program.
All right, let's talk about the basis for suspending Kiko Barzaga because your colleagues made some good points. Ganito ba tayo kabalat sibuyas? Doesn't this also cross the boundary of freedom of speech? Kiko Barzaga is a critic. So on what basis specifically was he suspended by the Ethics Committee?
Thank you, Karen, for that question. Representative Barzaga was suspended on 3 grounds. First is a violation of Republic Act 6713, which is the Code of Conduct and Ethics. He was also found in violation of Rule 20 of the House Rules, which is on the Code of Conduct. And finally, he was also found guilty for conduct unbecoming a member of the House of Representatives.
Okay, so let's talk about the rules
Okay.
on the
So, yan lang po
conduct
ipapakita ko sa
specific-
inyo kasi mahaba-haba po itong video na to. This is 19 minutes. So, kung gusto nyo po mas mapakinggan itong discussion nila, you can do so by going sa ANC website. Hanapin nyo lang po yung video na to. Pero kung napakinggan po ninyo, yung 3 main reasons is because of disorderly behavior, yung violation ng Code of Conduct. So, ipapakita ko rin po yan sa inyo mamaya, yung House rules regarding that. Yan yung pinaka point nito. Okay? And then yung next po ngayon, ipapakita ko naman po sa inyo yung news article naman po ng Rappler. Okay? So dito po sa news article ng Rappler, pinakita nila kung ano yung mga social media posts na ginawa ni Congressman Barzaga na ginamit against him dun sa ethics complaint. Okay, so basahin po muna natin. List the social media posts that got Kiko Barzaga in trouble. Anyway, going back, Manila, Philippines, when the House Ethics Committee recommended the 60-day suspension on Kiko Barzaga, so on and so forth, it gave an instruction, take down the social media posts that have been flagged. So from this part po ng Rappler, makikita natin na gusto i-regulate talaga ng Committee on Ethics yung freedom of speech and expression ni Congressman Barzaga. And then the reason kaya po nila to ginagawa is because of, yun nga, this amounted daw to disorderly behavior according to the Committee on Ethics. Okay? Ngayon, ipakita ko lang po sa inyo yung mga actual posts ni Congressman Barzaga. So, a few of his posts joke about setting the batasang pambansa on fire. Naintindihan kong galit kayo, pero kung susunugin nyo, so on and so forth, ang dami pong reactions. So, yan po. Anyway, if you want to see this para hindi na po tayo masyado mapahaba, you may do so by visiting na lang Rappler. Hanapin nyo na lang tong article na to. Hindi ko na to iisa-isahin yung mga posts niya. I-discuss ko na lang yung totality of things based on my professional assessment after reviewing all of this. Okay, so rest assured po lahat ng itong i-discuss ko sa inyo, nakabase to lahat sa dito sa mga statements si Congressman JC. And dito rin sa article ng Rappler. Na-review ko na po to actually kanina. So I reviewed this thoroughly kasi mabigat-bigat po itong legal issue na to. Considering ang nagbabanggaan po dito is the right to free speech and expression ni Congressman Barzaga versus the power po of Congress to penalize its members under Article 6. Ngayon po, ipapakita ko naman sa inyo yung rules ng House of Representatives. So again, this is the Congress website, Legislative Information, Rules of the House. Click lang po natin yan. And then, i-click lang po natin to. So from here, ito po yung rules. Kung makita po ninyo, 19th Congress pa yan. Palakihin po muna natin. So as you can see, it's still the 19th Congress, pero ito yung nasa website nila. So ito pa rin po yung rules ng 20th Congress. And then, pupunta lang po tayo niyan sa Rule 20, which is the Code of Conduct. Nasa page 76. So yan, Rule 20, Code of Conduct, Section 141 of the House of Representatives, Rules of Procedure. So there is hereby established in the House the following Code of Conduct. A member shall act at all times in a manner that shall reflect creditably on the House. So ito rin po pala kasi binanggit din ni Congressman JC Abalos dito sa interview na to na put into disrepute daw yung House of Representatives because of the statements and the social media posts ni Congressman Barzaga. And then itong iba, BCD, hindi na po to related sa situation ni Congressman Barzaga. You can also review this naman po kung gusto ninyo. So yung next pong pwede gamitin against Congressman Barzaga dito is itong disorderly behavior. Diba? Kung makita po nyo, the House may, upon recommendation of the Committee on Ethics, punish its members for any violation of this Code of Conduct and for disorderly behavior. And like kung ano nga po yung pinakita dito sa Rappler, yung reason kaya na-suspend si Congressman Barzaga is because of his social media posts, di ba? Therefore, that affects what we call his right to free speech and freedom of expression. Okay, so again, ang issue po dito is kung ano ba ang mas mataas, the right to free speech and expression ni Congressman Barzaga versus the right to penalize ng House of Representatives via the Article 6. Okay? So, kung ako po ang tatanungin ninyo, ang first dito na pwede questionin ni Congressman Barzaga is whether or not in-apply ba ng Committee on Ethics yung tinatawag na clear and present danger test. Okay? And the reason po kaya ko yan tinatanong is because if it affects the right to free speech po or freedom of expression ng isang tao, kahit po hindi congressman na, kahit sino pong Pilipino or kahit foreigner po na nakatira dito sa Philippines, meron niyang right to free speech and expression under Section 4, Article 3. Okay? So if it involves affecting, penalizing, or regulating a person or an individual's free speech, ang first question po talaga dyan ay pumasabayan sa clear and present danger test. Because the right to free speech is one of the fundamental rights po ng isang tao na nandito sa Pilipinas na talagang constitutionally protected. And if there is an attempt to regulate that or to penalize that right, ang presumption po actually is unconstitutional yung action na yon ng kahit sinong government body or kahit sinong tao po dito sa bansa natin. Okay, so medyo technical po yun. So ulitin ko lang, every time there is an attempt to regulate or penalize the right to free speech, the presumption is unconstitutional yung pag-penalize or pag-regulate na yon. And the only time para ma-overcome yung presumption of unconstitutionality na yon is you have to first pass the clear and present danger test. Okay? So when you say clear and present danger test po, ang ibig sabihin yan, merong isang posibleng mangyari na klaro na at nandyan na rin na dangerous, kaya mo ngayon i-regulate or penalize ang free speech, ang right to free speech or expression ng isang tao. So ang question ngayon, meron bang klaro at present na danger because of the actions ni Congressman Barzaga? Okay, yan yung magiging next question dyan. And you can review it from all of these statements niya. So kung ako po ang tatanungin ninyo, there is no clear and present danger na nangyari because of all these statements. Because number one, kahit na po may mga sinabi siya dito about mga sunog-sunog, it is already December 2 and this was posted way back September 15, September 12. Diba? Ang tagal na po basically nito and up to date, wala namang any seditious or violent or criminal acts na nangyari because of these statements. With that said po, dun pwede agad yan questionin pa lang na hindi nasunod yung clear and present danger test. Because again, this involves nga the penalizing of the right to free speech niya kasi yung gusto gawin ng House, diba? Ipa-take down pa yung social media post niya. So that is clearly a regulation of his free speech or freedom of expression. So yan po yung first. And then yung next issue po dito na pwede nating i-discuss is whether or not yung cases ba na final against Congressman Barzaga, is that sufficient to regulate na his free speech? Kasi, di ba, free speech po is not absolute. Every time there is already criminal acts, it can be regulated na, which is yun nga po, yung libel laws and yung mga sedition laws natin. Pag ganyan naman po, yung magiging allegation against Congressman Barzaga, yung pwede naman pong i-counter dyan is, it is still allegations, di ba? So, kung tingin po ninyo seditious or inciting to sedition yung mga ganitong statements, that is also your free speech. Pagsabihin nyo ng tao, di ba? Opinion niya yun. Kasi at the end of the day, ang makakasabi lang po kung meron na talagang inciting to sedition na nangyari is the courts of law natin, di ba? Pero at present, it is still all allegations pa lang po against Congressman Barzaga. Therefore, to penalize him because of a pending inciting to sedition case, medyo ano po yan, speculative pa lang, di ba? Kasi again, it is still allegations. So kung allegations pa lang po, a person will enjoy what we call the presumption of innocence. Okay, so hopefully naintindihan nyo po, medyo technical na po itong discussion natin. I'm trying to simplify it as much as possible, pero pag free speech kasi, pag right to free speech, mga Bill of Rights natin, medyo technical po talaga yung terms dyan. Kasi yun nga po, these are fundamental rights that are constitutionally protected. So sobrang strict po talaga yung requirements ng law and jurisprudence para ma-regulate and penalize to sila. So hopefully nasundan nyo pa po, pero yun nga po, like what I have discussed so far, it can really be argued na may grave abuse of discretion yung House of Representatives. Hindi ko po sinasabing meron na, it can be argued pa lang kasi at the end of the day, Supreme Court na po yung bahala mag-decide doon. Assuming kung umabot talaga to doon. So discretion na po yan ni Congressman Barzaga kung whether or not ko-questionin niya ba to sa Supreme Court. Okay? In conclusion po, kung ako ang tatanungin ninyo, and this is with all due respect din po to the House of Representatives, si Congressman Barzaga po should not be penalized by simply exercising his free speech or freedom of expression. Specifically po, yung manner niya pag-communicate, diba? Kasi medyo, ano po siya, nang aasar. Kaya sa tingin ko, may naasar din talaga. And the reason po, kaya ganyan yung position ko is because of how the Congress is set up po or kung ano yung foundation talaga niyan, which is the free flow of of thoughts po dapat talaga ang nangyayari dyan. Kaya nga po hindi yan limited to a certain type of profession only, kahit na po batas ang pinapag-usapan, kahit na po hindi ka abogado or hindi ka graduate ng college, kahit nga hindi ka nag-aral, you can be a member of Congress as long as you are elected. And that is because nga po of its foundation na dapat may free flowing of ideas from different walks of life. So therefore po, because of that, even though si Congressman Barzaga po, he communicates in a different manner, dapat hindi po siya ma-penalize for that. Kasi yun yung unique sa kanya as a public servant, as a congressman. Therefore, papasok po yun dun sa free flowing of ideas from different walks of life na foundation po ng House of Representatives. Okay? And kung ako nga rin po ang tatanungin ninyo, if hindi na-penalize si Congressman Barzaga and he was allowed to speak in that very unique manner, that will actually be more favorable to the House if you ask me, kasi may kita po ng public na ang House of Representatives, even though mga kontrapartido, hindi nila nire-regulate or hindi nila pinipenalize, diba? So from there may kita natin na democracy is really in full effect sa House of Representatives, and because of that masasabi po natin na mas pabor po yun sa pananaw ng isang reasonableng political observant. And isa pa po na gusto ko lang din idagdag, pag makita rin po kasi ng taong bayan, ng regular member of the taong bayan na yung congressman pag nagsalita against the government ay napipinalize, di baka isipin din po ng tao na how much more pag ordinary member ka lang, di ba? Baka ipinalize ka din. So that can also result to a possible chilling effect, di ba? So when you say chilling effect, nanlalamig po yung surroundings, yung tao na ayaw na nga po magsalita out of fear because takot po sila na mapinalize din sila. Kasi yun nga po, kung yung congressman nga kaya ipinalize, how much more yung ordinary citizen. So yan po yung mga posibleng maging observations ng isang reasonable political observant in this situation ni Congressman Kiko Barzaga and the House of Representatives. So yan lang po talaga yung pinaka-main na masasabi ko about this. And ako po personally, I will be honest with all of you. Ako po hindi ako pabor din kung paano to mag-deliver ng message si Congressman Kiko Barzaga, kasi may pagkaano rin po talaga siya, may pagka makulit at nang aasar, 'di ba? Pero yan po yung generation nila, Gen Z. Ako, I came from the millennial generation. So ako medyo, makikita niyo naman po siguro, 'di ba, sa mga post ko, I am very different from how he delivers his message. Pero despite our differences po, I will not, if it was just me, hindi ko po yan siya ipipinalize considering everything that we have discussed so far. Plus also, kung pinapanood niyo po ako regularly, I'm sure nakita niyo naman po siguro na I'm really an advocate for free speech and expression, 'di ba? Kaya nga po in my comment section, hindi ko yan siya nililimit. Everyone is free to speak there regardless po of your political affiliation, 'di ba? Kasi I am of the position po na it is better na madaming magugulo, madaming may ingay, kasi for me mas nakatakot po pag yung ordinary members ng ating bansa ay hindi na kaya magsalita or hindi na kaya manindigan, 'di ba? Because pag umabot tayo sa ganung situation, that would be a very dangerous situation po if you ask me. And yan lang po ang masasabi ko talaga. Pag free speech or freedom of expression na po sana pinapag-usapan, dapat po sana talaga maging stricto yung government offices natin. And when I say stricto po, meaning masunod po dapat talaga yung constitutional guidelines ng law and jurisprudence. Okay, so hopefully mas klaro na po yan. Ito pong discussion natin medyo technical, but like what I stated earlier, basta free speech, kailangan talaga maging technical para mas ma-appreciate nyo po talaga, may fellow taong bayan, kung gaano ka-importante itong karapatan natin na ito. Okay, so hopefully klaro po yan. If you like more legal videos and current events, subscribe lang po kayo sa channel ko. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!